tracks or something?
Mm-hmm.
What? Do you want to work at Google? Fun. It depends. Only for their like sustainability branch. I want to work in Google. I want to go to Google. Oh wait, no.
Do you know what you'd like, Pedro? You can sign up for like free events at Google offices and they just give you
It kind of works.
I went to so many of them.
Wait, you're allowed?
Yeah. I just signed up as like some
What?
venture
Wait, no,
investor.
it's starting to get
Something like that? Wait, what is
it's starting to
Go on like Eventbrite.
have a higher reach.
You think so?
But I doubt it'll be any.
No. What event? You're like this
Just
forever.
Just see the thing.
I signed up for them.
I think the effects don't like. Which one? Like they
The
don't
product
last
management.
long.
No,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
like a full seconds only.
I'll go with that.
I want to try it.
But like,
I don't want to die
Yeah,
young.
literally no, just search like
It's okay.
You,
startups.
no, I don't want to do
anything.
drugs,
You
but
can see
it's
all
fine.
these free events. I don't know if they have them in major cities like London.
I mean, I'm dumb
stuff.
anyway, so bad as well. Just like.
Yeah, and that's it.
I'm over to you, so I'm close enough.
Alrighty, hopefully I'll notice if people come in.
Has a Star Wars background or a Star Wars shirt.
One in like. Oh, we're drinking ice
Bye.
cream.
So yeah, I guess we're good to start. I thought we just start off with like, I'll show you guys the business a bit, and then in like 15 minutes or so we can like meet the seller and like ask him questions. So last time we had like made a list of questions, so we'll probably just run through those. I'm sure you guys have some questions yourself, and yeah. So yeah, this is the newsletter itself. So as you can see, he sends out about three newsletters a week. So they're pretty basic in that sense. It's like, so they're all Star Wars products, right? And it has about 6,000 subscribers, and it's like, galactic sweatshirts, Jedi treasures, lightsabers, Jedi food, this kind of stuff. And then if we actually look at the newsletters themselves, they're not like extremely high quality, so it's literally like rise from the shadows, young Padawans. Like this can very easily be like GPT generated, especially with the right prompts. And once we have examples, it's very easy to actually like pump out 4 introductions in 20 minutes, 30 minutes of work, And then the products themselves are quite basic, So recently they probably had like more Halloween themed stuff, but it's like literally just like a t-shirt, some different products, stickers, this kind of stuff. And this is what the email looks like every week, right? So they show products like this. Again, another t-shirt, more Halloween stuff, and basically what they have set up right now is they have a VA who is working on scheduling, like finding all of the products, scheduling newsletters for every week, stuff like that, right? So yeah, this is what the newsletter itself looks like. Anything you'll want to look at particularly in this, and next I can show you all like the dashboard, how many subscribers they have, open rates, stuff like that. I think that's a lot more interesting. But yeah, anything else about this you guys want to
It's
ask?
literally just like a catalogue of stuff
It's
you can buy.
it's literally like it's not even like high quality
Yeah.
or anything like that. It's literally just Star Wars products, and it's 3 a week. So there's clearly like a very high volume of products.
How do they make revenue? Sorry, I
So-
couldn't make it last week.
So no, you're chilling, bro. So they don't actually make a lot of revenue. Right now, their only way of making revenue is by this thing called referrals. So whenever people subscribe to the newsletter, they also get an option to subscribe to other newsletters. And if they do, then these guys get like a referral fee. And right now they're getting like, for every subscriber that they grow by, they're getting like 60 cents. So that's on average, right? That's because each subscriber that they get another newsletter is anywhere from $1 to $2. So that it averages out to about 60 cents a subscriber. And it's really hard because most of the other related newsletters aren't Star Wars related, right? So that makes it much harder, right? Because you're for people subscribing to a Star Wars newsletter, you're recommending, say, a finance newsletter. So if we can find more relevant newsletters that like bump up the numbers as such. But yeah, let me at least actually put on my camera and check if anybody joined. Nope. Yeah, so this is the newsletter itself. So this is it's on a dashboard because a newsletter management system called Beehive, and as you can see, it has 6,000 subscribers. Open rate is at 48%. So that means for every email that it sends out, there are 48% of the people opening it.
That's pretty good, right?
It's pretty good, yeah. So you want something around 50%, right? Bad is like 30 to 40%. Good is close to 50%.
What
So
about
this
like
is
100?
that's very hard to have because that means that everybody's opening it up, right?
So the higher is better.
Higher is better for sure. Amazing is like 60% is amazing, and like 70-80% is like unheard of with a large newsletter list. Click-through rate is about 5%, so this used to be much higher. As you can see, it's gone down quite a bit, so that's definitely something we're gonna want to improve on. I think it's because they're sending out too many newsletters right now, right? They're really going for quantity over quality. With 3 newsletters, that's like 30 products, you know. So if we cut that down to like 10 products, I think we can really improve that click-through rate and the open rate as well, because then like it feels less spammy, right, compared to a newsletter coming in thrice a week. Yeah.
Are there any metrics related to not only what percentage of people opened an email, but what percentage of people made it halfway through or made it until the end, or things like that? Like what KPIs are
So
there?
let's try to see exactly where they are.
Question mark up.
So they do have those metrics. I'm just trying to find exactly where they are.
Yeah. So good. For about that.
So yeah, so what did you say again? Like how well they? What was the question again?
What percentage like reads half of the email? What percentage reads the entire email?
Oh, okay. So that's hard to do because you don't know exactly how much of it they're reading, right? Because there's no way to track how much they're reading, but you can track by how many people have clicked through, how many people have read the whole thing, stuff like that. So as you can see, each email over here, you can see gets about like 45 to 50% open rates every time, right? But their click-through rates have really been dropping. If I go back couple of months, they have like their click-through rates used to be like, as you can see, it's like closer to 6% here, but then it's dropping to 3% here, right? So there's definitely been a drop in the quality that we need to work on. And what's
the name of the other KPI? Click rate?
Click-through rate, yeah, CTR.
Rate.
Yeah. And as you can see, he keeps the newsletter list really fresh. So he's constantly removing subscribers that aren't opening that often. Anytime a subscriber hasn't opened for like 6 weeks, they get removed from the email list. So that we're making sure that our email list stays fresh and those open rates stay high. So that's what I actually like about this newsletter, in that in total his email list is around 10,000.
Got it. In that case, can we see how many they are adding each month and compare that to how much they are deleting?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
also, does it automatically unsubscribe you, or can we like implement something like after 6 months, like we're gonna unsubscribe you? Do you object or something, you know, instead of just unsubscribing them?
I think it sends out an email, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't really think we need it. Because like if they've not opened it in like 8 weeks, we may as well just unsubscribe them, you know? They're not likely to open the next one.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I have like an email newsletter that I like, and then I just get busy and I overlook it. And then if they send me like an email, we're gonna unsubscribe you, I might click on
Fair,
it.
but then you may end up just opening that one, right? And then not open the other.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, it's really like something you gotta figure
I feel
out.
like these guys certainly has the incentive to delete them because he wants to show these open rates being very
Yeah.
high and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like in our case,
Yeah.
as you said, like there's a possibility that perhaps not this month, but in 6 months that
True.
person's gonna come back and be a user. So
True.
from our standpoint, I don't think we have an incentive to like
True.
erase them.
It's just trying to make it look better for us to buy it.
Yeah.
exactly.
True.
Yeah.
So there is that. Where also we're gonna want to go to sponsors, right? And we don't want to tell them either that we have like 30% open rates.
Mhm.
So for us,
Okay.
also it's not just for buyers, but also for sponsors,
I see.
right? Because
Okay.
having a large email list, we can totally still hit them, right? We can still contact them there. So he has, I'll show you segmentation. So in the audience, he's segmented like loyal customers, people who open very often, have high click-through rates versus dead customers, right?
Got it.
So we still have their emails, we can still hit their inboxes, but we can't quite interact with them as such, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
this newsletter get new subscribers and stuff?
So up till now, he's been literally just running through like Facebook ads. So he runs Facebook ads. He has like he per subscriber he pays about 40 cents, and that's every 10 subscribers he pays per subscriber he pays 40 cents,
$4.
and that's good because he's also earning 60 cents every subscriber.
On average.
Right, so there is that arbitrage. It's a very small arbitrage, so we definitely want to increase those margins, but it makes it a lot more beneficial to run those ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? This is like completely different. It would change this entire process.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think about the idea of just creating our own blog and trying to monetize that? Like, you currently have a business blog. What if we just did that?
Yeah, so that is definitely something that we should do anyways, right? Like I'm definitely gonna be working towards monetizing that, but to get like the numbers at 7,000 takes a while, because he's been growing at like, even if you grow at 500 a week, it's still gonna take you a while to get there, like couple of months at least, and there's a decent amount of churn that's happening as well, right? Many of the subscribers who come on, let's say like 20% of them are dead on the spot, right? They're not really going to open any emails even if they subscribe. So there's definitely like a lot of advantage in picking up like the current base that he's already built up.
And with
So, yeah.
this purchase, do you get the Facebook account? Like
Yeah.
Instagram
Yes. So if actually, do you all want to look at the subscribers first, and then I can show you the social accounts?
I have one more question though.
Yeah.
So who's paying the 40 or the 60 cents to you
To
when
him?
someone subscribes?
Yeah.
The
So
other newsletter or the website?
so the other newsletter.
Alright.
So if I go down here to monetization,
Because I was gonna say if there was a website, then we could just add your other newsletter as a thing,
yeah. No, that is definitely the plan, right? I think I'm building like, this is separate to this, but I am building. So newsletters have actually become a really popular business now, especially since Morning Brew got sold for like 75 million. Or was like
What's
even
that?
it's like a daily newsletter, and it's like probably the largest newsletter in the world, like regular newsletter. And then there was even Axios or something like that got sold for like something absurd, like 200 million. So newsletters have started to become a commodity because it's a very direct way of reaching your audience, and newsletters have much higher conversion rate than any traditional media. So sponsorships on newsletters have been shown to have a much higher rate of return than any other media, and that's like, most people know this across, like, obviously depending on your target audience, but newsletters have just become very, very precious. So I'm working towards building a kind of like newsletter, having multiple newsletters, right? So I have my own business newsletter. I'm building a student AI newsletter where we send out like one student AI tool, one chat GPT prompt for students, and one like student founder shout out. So
Every
that's going to be its own newsletter. Yeah,
that-
every week.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and that also already has like 2,500 subscribers.
Okay.
And that we're just building organically because I think it's a perfect marketing channel for
Yeah.
like Sourcely and other student AI tools. So yeah, so this will actually be like the third newsletter that I work on. So that's why also I'm like fairly confident about running this and monetizing this. I also know I don't know if you guys have heard of this newsletter called the Milk Road.
Oh, Shampuri.
Yeah, so the guys who they sold Milk Road to, you know how they sold Milk Road,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they sold it to like these random dudes. I know like one of the guys they sold it to, and the guy who used to run ads for them, he's also like a college kid, but him and I connected on Twitter, so he's down to help us out as well. So we kind of have like a pretty like fire team to work on newsletters. Like just for a random Star Wars newsletter, we have people who've like literally done millions of dollars in revenue with newsletters, you know. So and they're more than happy to just like they just find this idea cool and we're friends, you know. So they're happy to like hop on call, talk through stuff. But yeah,
It's an email newsletter, right? Or is it a website?
yeah, email
Is
newsletter.
it also a website?
It is also web. So the thing I showed you just before this, where I showed you the different,
Right, that was
was the website. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, this is not.
Are you subscribed to the Justin Feinberg newsletter? That's not it. It's like, AI stuff. Like
AI update.
developments and like
I'm just going to one of those.
Huh?
Map future tools. So AI.
Okay, this is not working for some reason. But yeah, I want to show you guys. So as you can see, the last 4 weeks growth has been very slow, right, compared to the weeks before that. So that's because he's not been investing as much in the business anymore. But if we go to the last 12 months, right, you can see like the growth is it's a good growth, right? It's not like they're not having like crazy spurts or anything like that, right? So this shows us that this is sustainable in the long run, because that's really important for us. We don't want something that's just gone viral once and then we're relying on it to go viral again, but rather this means that like, you know, you have that opportunity for consistent growth. And as you can see, most of them have come through the Facebook ads, right? Let me try zooming in if I can. Yeah. Can you see that better?
3,000.
Yeah. So most have come through the Facebook ads, some through like then the rest through like direct Twitter, organic Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. So yeah, we can actually take a look at the socials as well. So if we look at the Instagram, so as you can see, like it has like 39,000 likes and followers. So it's like a pretty, it's a valuable page, you know. It's like when we go to sponsors and we have an Instagram page with 40,000 followers and we have a newsletter with 7,000 subscribers. I think if you're a Star Wars business, you'd be willing to throw $100 for a sponsorship, you know.
Is that how it works? Or
Huh?
do they just post them?
What?
Do they get paid by the
So right now, this dude has not been trying to monetize it. He
Okay.
just pays the VA. So he runs multiple newsletters,
Okay.
and he just pays the VA to do stuff for him, and he's not actually trying to monetize. But actually, when we get on call with him, like feel free to ask him very hard and serious questions about the business, about how he monetizes, stuff like that.
And where does he find the Star Wars products?
So he actually, I think he's just like on Etsy and stuff, but that's definitely a better question for him. So I just texted him if he wants to hop on call.
We should really be like owning the drop shipping or e-commerce store for all the products.
Exactly, that's definitely the goal, right? Rather than sponsoring for others, we should do it ourselves. But the logistics is a bit of a pain to set up, so that's what we're gonna work on together, right?
I know a guy at Pizza who's a master of doing that.
At Pizza?
Yeah. he spotted his whole gap year just like printing stuff on Etsy through Printful.
Wait, should we also make? Are you saying?
He would definitely be interested in this.
Huh. Wait,
Get involved.
is Etsy like where you make clothes or you just sell?
Yeah.
Maybe you get a commission.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
tell
give you a
me.
commission.
Wait, is Etsy where you make clothes or you just sell them?
Carried interest.
Sinclair, is
Etsy's just like a.
I'm not
store.
sure. It's just like
should we make our own stuff? I feel like that'd be super easy. It makes
Yeah.
us a ton of money.
Control every aspect.
yeah,
of
so
these
that's
people's
definitely the
lives.
goal, right? It's
Let's
like
do that, yeah.
yeah, it's like making our own t-shirts, making our own posters. Posters would be so easy,
Yeah.
right? So that's the goal, but initially we'll start out with sponsors as the goal because that's harder to set up, right? So it's gonna be more like maybe I'll work like we're gonna figure it out as we go, right? But those are the two main angles. Oh yeah, perfect. Hey Mason,
Hey, how's it going?
doing good, dude. How are you?
Not too bad.
So yeah, I don't know if you can see everyone, but that's everyone.
What's up, guys? For
Awesome.
people.
Awesome. Yeah, so I was just actually showing them around like the beehive and everything. Sorry, you're up on like the TV, so that's why I'm looking up there. But
Okay.
yeah, so I was hoping, we could get started with you just telling us, just giving a bit of the background into, why you started it, what it's been like running it. And I know most of the questions that we have are revolving around monetization, and what you've tried up till now. But yeah, I think I'll let mainly them ask questions, and then we hopefully not take too much of your time, I think just 20-30 minutes should be good.
Yeah, cool. I started it in, 2016 or 2017 as like a SEO blog type play. So trying for organic traffic, and I ran it that way for, 3 or 4 years. And that did okay. And then all the Google changes and the algorithm changes, it was so up and down. And then newsletters were kind of going up. So I converted it completely to a newsletter since a lot of people consume the content by email anyways. So it's been in newsletter form, I don't know, for maybe a year or so now. Cost of acquisition super cheap on paid ads. If that's an avenue that y'all want to go, we were getting them for like 40 cents a piece. So, and the stay rate was pretty good on that just because, Star Wars fans, people are super into the brand. So you're kind of piggybacking off that brand equity, I guess. And they're always wanting to see that kind of new stuff. The monetization piece has been the most challenging part, which is more with this guy, with newsletters, I would say. I think affiliate is big if you can get good affiliate deals with people. I've had decent success reaching out to like larger Etsy stores for multiple ads, like just selling ad packages for their products. I think that could still be a good avenue. If you can do some sort of parody merch and do your own merch, I think that's also a really good avenue that I was about to go down, and then Dev hit me up and I was like, hey, this could be fun. So I think that could be an awesome avenue to go down as well. Right, I used to run it all myself, do all the writing and the sourcing, and then I found a VA who does it all now. So they're just sourcing products on anywhere on the internet, Etsy, any of those big retailers. So I think I pay them $80 a week or something to do that, and then schedule all the social posts and stuff. So it's not too bad, but I think y'all were going to do that yourselves as well.
Nice,
so that can save some costs there. That's kind of like the overview on it. The social pages are pretty large, 40,000 on Facebook, 7,000 on Twitter, 7,000 on Instagram, maybe 4,000 on Twitter or X, whatever we want to call it. So there's a lot of opportunity there, I think, to do some UGC with that. So kind of hit up those Etsy stores and be like, we want to post about it, add you to it. Can you send us a product and then record cool things with it?
I think we're definitely going to do a lot of like cold B2B outreach to Star Wars businesses. But yeah, so I know we covered a couple of different things here. So you guys can hear them all good, right? If you ever want me to repeat any or like want me to say something, just let me know. But yeah, I know he mentioned a couple of things. Is there any aspect specifically you all want to go into first? Because he mentioned the monetization, what the different processes are right now and what the tasks the VA are doing. So yeah, we can like start jumping into anything particular. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious. So, as of my understanding, your monetization comes just from subscriptions to like other newsletters that are like associated. Like when someone subscribes to yours, they'll subscribe to another one. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's another way through Sparkloop you can do that. So that kind of recoups some ad. That usually just washes ad costs. I'm not really making a lot of money on that. Since it's kind of like a niche one, and all the ones on that platform are like business or startup related. So like, getting like Star Wars nerds to care about marketing can be hard. So it's kind of hard to find like newsletters that make sense in that niche, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm curious if you actually ended up reaching out to any Star Wars merch producing companies, or like if you tried to make partnerships with them, or if you literally just posted them yourself.
Just posted them myself. Yeah, I reached out to some Etsy stores to do some sponsored posts, and then just joined stock affiliate programs, and that's about it. Like Etsy, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So,
Yeah,
can
I
you
haven't
tell
reached
us
out
a little
directly.
bit more about your attempt to reach out to Etsy stores? How did that go? What challenges did you face? Did you manage to get a deal with any of them?
Yeah, I've sold, I don't know, 5 or 6 ad spots probably. Most of them are really open to it because, a lot of them only do Star Wars type stuff, and the newsletter is only for Star Wars fans, so they're interested in that, and the prices are relatively cheap. So I would say the success rate is fairly high on it. I haven't, I did it for a couple weeks and didn't even really go that hard at it just because of my full-time gig takes time away from that. But I just messaged them on Etsy was the easiest because they're checking their Etsy messages, for orders and stuff like that. So that, bubbles up to the top of their inbox. They're going to check that because they think they're getting money or something. So yeah, it worked. I think it worked really well. The response rate was probably 75 or 80%, like just people that would at least message me back, either asking more questions or no or whatever. So that's really good for cold outreach.
Nice. And what were those sponsorship spots sold at?
So top of the newsletter was 100, and then just like a product mentioned, I think I had 25 or 50
Nice.
or something like that. Yeah.
And this seems to be a good business idea. Why did you stop doing it? Why didn't you outsource this to the VA, for example?
I mean, I work full time as well, so it was kind of just like a side project, and I didn't have the time to go and research and write all that stuff, so I outsourced it. So
the
I could.
partnership with the Etsy stores in particular. Why didn't you outsource this relationship to your virtual assistant? If
Yeah.
was being monitored.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I should have done that. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks, guys. I'm just no, I mean, that's a good idea. I should have done
you
that.
should have
But
done that.
I'm curious, were you the one writing all of the blogs the entire time?
no, I wrote the first, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, and then the last 6 months has been the VA.
And going back to the VA, was it your decision or was it their decision to have 3 emails sent per week? Also, where are they getting their content from, and what is the cost as of now?
Yeah, so it was mine to do 3 times a week. I was doing 2, and then I upped it to 3 because I figured that'd be more ad slots. And then they're sourcing the content. I kind of just gave them a loose brief of like, go find cool Star Wars things. So they go look wherever. I think a lot of it's Etsy. Some of the other like niche Star Wars retailers. And then the cost is for them to write all 3 and schedule all the social posts for the week is $80-ish a week. Yeah.
And that's how many hours?
8? I think I pay them $10 an hour. Yeah, 8.
Nice. Okay, got it. Got it.
I was also wondering if we could get a better idea of some other metrics. So, for instance, how many users did you remove from your newsletter in the last month? How many did you add, and how has this been trending for the last few months?
Sure. I can look
Yeah, I
on.
can actually open up the Beehive and share my screen as well if that helps.
Yeah, I was kind of see if I could see how many have I removed. I can look on. Yeah, so I'm trying to go to my
Would
ads
it be
manager.
under? I got it on my screen. If you wanna tell me where to go.
Yeah, I don't know because I delete them, so I don't know if they're gonna show that they've been there. Hold on.
Or I feel like
Just the right account. Sorry.
no, you're
Trying to
chilling. You're
find-
chilling. So yeah, anyways, I'll show you guys this. So as you can see, he has some like segmentations, you know. So like open rate above 90%. We have about 300 people, right? So that could be like a really good target to hit, especially to try to like sell them on some kind of premium newsletter. You know, like let's say they pay $2 a month or $1 a month to get like an extra edition. You know,
Yeah.
it could be like an
Wow.
added.
Yeah, so
added
looking through my
revenue channel.
Facebook ad account, it looks like there's probably been 12 to 13,000 total that's run through. So I probably removed about half of them.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys hear that? So he said there's about 12 to 13,000 that he's gone through, and we're now at like 6,000 active subscribers. So yeah, probably removed about half of them.
Yeah. I could, show the raw numbers, but my open rate would be trash, and I like keeping the list clean.
Yeah,
So,
no, definitely. Definitely
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Can you talk about your customer segmentation? So, like, what are the age groups that are most represented? What are the countries that are most represented, etc.?
Sure. Yeah. So all the paid ads were U.S., Canada, or UK, and then male and female. I think it's probably. I can look on the Facebook page, but I think it's like 70-30 male, and then skews younger. But the ads were to up to 45 or so. So there's some older people in there, but I would say the main cohort's probably 18 to 34.
And how do you come up with the price of 3,000?
So there's a newsletter evaluation tool based on open rate and list size, which had it at like 8 or 9. And then Dev and I have been talking for a couple months now, and he kind of told me what you guys were going to do with it. So that's why it's at the price that it's at now.
Yeah, so to give a bit more context into that, so the initial price was about 5,000. So I would say people are generally happy paying about like anywhere from around $1 per subscriber. It obviously depends on the kind of acquisition you're looking to make. So because it's not like we're a newsletter company that's buying another newsletter, right? So that's where that dollar per subscriber comes more into play. So because this is also pre-revenue, evaluating it is very hard. So we started around 5,000, then he was willing to go down to 4,000. And when I told him that I was interested in buying this business for Pocket Fund, he said he'd be willing to go down as low as 3,000, so that we can get the deal done as well. So yeah, I'd say the valuation is actually more arbitrary in that sense than a very specific kind of calculation that we can come to, mainly because it is pre-revenue. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And just one last follow-up from me here, because I have to go to class after.
Yeah, sure.
Dave mentioned that you also run other newsletters. I was wondering how many other newsletters do you run, and how closely related are they to this one? And do you have some overlap between the subscribers on this newsletter and the subscriber on other of your newsletters?
Yeah, the other one I have is provides leads for freelance web designers and web developers. So there's probably, I guess those people are kind of nerdy, so there maybe is some overlap, but it's completely different business. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's any overlap there. Yeah, that's the only other one I have right now.
And what are some of the biggest like things that you've learned in running the other newsletter that might be helpful for us as we run this one?
Sure. Yeah. If you get your paid ads right, they can pay for themselves. If you get the monetization right, like what you're talking about, like a premium thing. So if you know you can acquire them for 46 cents and you can get a premium at a 2% conversion ratio, then, you know, if you do your math, you're making money there. Then just being consistent, and I think people really like the consistency, and you'll have your like super raving fans, and you want to like keep giving them the good stuff, and then don't be afraid to like keep your list really clean of people who don't open it in like 3 or 4 times. Just get rid of them because they're never going to open it anyways. So I think my biggest piece of advice would just like keep your list clean. It might look cool to have 12,000, but if no one opens it, then it doesn't really matter, right? So yeah.
One follow-up to that, you mentioned that the rationale behind having 3 emails sent per week was to have more ad slots, but you're not monetizing your emails right now, so isn't that a bit of a contradiction?
It was the thought of having more ad slots and then me being lazy and not actually monetizing it. So it is a contradiction.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like even like what I've spoken with Mason, that I think that cutting it down to 1 to 2 a week and improving the quality, you know, because I don't think like there is a lot of time being spent, you know, right now on sourcing and everything. So I think that like scheduling, let's say, a month's newsletters in the first couple of days would be ideal, and then spending most of our time on like filling up those sponsorship slots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up, dude? Yeah, you guys have any other questions? Otherwise, I think I got 1 or 2 other questions for you, and then we can let you go.
We have class.
I think,
Thank you. We have
alright.
class. Sorry.
See you.
Thank you.
Later. Have fun. I think focusing on the social aspect, because you got
Yeah.
those pages, and I've kind of
Just
just
a sec, I
been
think it's-
lazy and not done a lot with it, and it's got a decent following. So you actually came up with these unique content. I think you could drive a lot of subscribers organically for cheap there.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a question about copyright, because since like we're like our platform is not like cooperating with other like publisher, like original published of the like information, and we are taking it for commercial use, is there any risk of like copyright or potential?
I don't-
I think we don't have sponsorship
I-
with it, right?
If you major on products, I would think so.
Yeah.
But that's why I kind of strayed away from making my own products. But you're kind of just linking to other people's products. And if you're selling sponsors, I think the liability ultimately comes on the manufacturer, not the megaphone, if that makes sense. So I've never had any issues with it, and I think
Yeah.
as long as you're not
So definitely
selling Star Wars licensed products, you're okay.
Yeah, definitely the main copyright was gonna be with those Star Wars licensed products, right? Most of the things that we're linking to are all Etsy stores, stuff like that. So then most of them aren't official Star Wars licensed products, and that's what we're gonna have, because the best way to monetize this is to actually have our own products, right? Let's say a Star Wars t-shirt, a Star Wars poster, stuff like that. So in order to create those, we're gonna have to tiptoe around the copyright really carefully. I think the best way to do that is to create parody merch, right? So not directly related to Star Wars, but clearly
Yeah.
referencing it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely something we have to figure out as we go. But yeah, no, that's a
Yeah.
really good question.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity with the parody stuff if you can get it right.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions?
Not yet.
Awesome. So, actually, I had a question about So, I was wondering more specifically how you were thinking of doing, let's say, the post-transaction, kind of like the post-transaction documents, you know, just like kind of everything the VA is doing right now, you know, if he can create some kind of like, cheat sheet,
Yeah.
workbook to follow, kind of, you know, even if it's like couple of looms, you know, showing exactly what he's doing. I think that would be super helpful, just to make the transition much easier. And then it would allow me to kind of like, actually, even before we, do the kind of transaction, because I think we're gonna want to do like, um, I'm gonna wanna do some kind of like reflection period on this due diligence, have another meeting, follow the process of like negotiating a price a little bit, um, even if it's a little bit for show as such. And yeah, while we're doing that, I wanted to start the transition, and especially because I know you're paying the VA right now, and I don't want you to have to do that when you're selling the business, right? So we can start like transitioning some of what the VA is doing, even if it's just the initial outsourcing of the products, stuff like that.
Yeah, I can. I'll send them a message today and see if they'll kind of record their process. And then I can also add to that from when I was doing it as well. And happy to let y'all look through that and be helpful however I can.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that would be super helpful. So yeah, because I think so basically what we just discussed is that right now his VA is working on a couple of different things, and they spend, let's say, 5 to 8 hours on the entire week's worth of work, right? So in order for us to be able to take on that work, if they can create like documents basically saying like step by step, this is what we do, right? We source products from Etsy, Amazon, all these different websites, right? Then it's really easy for us to just go check those websites, check for Star Wars products, stuff like that. Yeah, but
And honestly, like the first month or two, you can probably just go to their oldest issues and just recycle
yeah,
what
I agree.
people aren't going to remember. So
I agree. I totally think
yeah.
we can have like a database of products that we can then start like pulling from, once we have a diversified enough database. So, yeah, no, I think there's a lot of ways to streamline that process for sure. And that's going to be the goal, right? Really streamlining all of that so that we can get like, we can focus more on the monetization, the sponsorships, rather than just the issues.
Yep, 100%.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, do you guys have any other questions? Otherwise, we can let him go, and yeah, I can show you some other stuff about the business. Yeah? Awesome. Yeah, I think that's all from us from now, Nathan. Thanks a lot for
Cool.
joining.
Yep, talk to you later.
Yeah, appreciate it, dude. Take care.
Thanks
See
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Awesome.
What's up, bud?
Do you know who's on shift right now? I don't think it's Rita though, unless she picked up the shift, because it's usually Shay or Alvin.
I don't think it's Alvin. There might be no one on the shift.
Really? Oh, well, I'm on in 15 minutes, so I mean, I guess I'm on now then.
Yeah, so I know you guys came a bit late, so I wanted to show you guys more about the business we're looking at. I don't feel free to ask me any questions if you want to specifically about Pocket Fund or anything like that, because we've kind of we finished most of what our session was about now. So yeah, I can just show you guys around the business, answer questions about Pocket Fund if you want me to, source the whatever you wanna. Yeah, but so the business that we're looking at is actually this newsletter about Star Wars. They send out Star Wars products thrice a week. So it's like super simple, right? Like this kind of Star Wars t-shirt, the sweatshirt, these kind of like jumpers, like a baby Yoda, so like these kind of like quirky Star Wars products, and it gets sent out about 3 times a week, and they currently have 6,000 subscribers, and it's not monetized at all, but there's definitely a lot of potential for monetization, and we're buying it for about $3,000. That's the discussed asking price right now. But yeah, so yeah, to look at the business a bit more specifically, they have like 50% open rate. That's pretty good for a newsletter. Anywhere around 50% is great. Close to 40% isn't as great. A click-through rate of 5%. So that's been coming down recently. So that's definitely something we want to work on. 5% is average, we want to have something higher, like 8%. Click through rate basically means how many subscribers have actually clicked on a product that was in the newsletter, right? So the main reason why I really like this business is because the newsletter has a very high intent to buy, right? Because they're sending Star Wars products, right? So the subscribers are subscribing to see products, so they know that they want to buy, or they at least have some kind of intention around actually completing a purchase, right? Which is really important. So yeah. So yeah, this is the business itself. Do y'all want me to go more into this? Because we got about 10 minutes left, so I can go more into the business, or yeah, I can answer questions about Pocket Fund itself.
Yeah, what's the revenue breakdown? Is it pure ads?
So right now it's like making no revenue pretty much. It's pre-revenue.
It's not even ad. Like,
No,
ads are-
so he's sold a couple of ad spots before for like $100 a spot, and he sold maybe 5 of them, but he's not put a lot of money into the monetization aspect.
How much is he asking for it? Sorry, I can't-
3,000?
I can't read.
No, you're chilling. So he's asking for $3,000 for it.
And
What-
has he not looked at all like into Google Ads and things like? He just hasn't done that.
He
He's not
just
had time for
he
it?
has a full-time job, right? So this is
Okay.
more like a side hustle for him.
Yeah.
So he's not really explored so that's why I think this has a lot of untapped potential.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Right, where he hasn't explored a lot of the avenues.
Yeah, I wonder like the product linked on the page.
Yeah.
That, like if people buy from the website, how can he? Is there any like?
So
Yeah,
there's no way for
percentage
him
of the
to track
sale
that.
or-
Yeah, there's no way for him to track that, which is really annoying.
Like to track whether or not a purchase is actually been made.
Exactly.
All you can see is just if they click one or not.
Exactly. Unless he it's like a paid sponsorship with them.
Yeah, he'd have
He
to
can't
partner
track
with
if they've actually bought it.
So that's all like that would be data that they just don't have access to.
Yeah,
They'd
exactly.
have to partner.
Exactly. Because they link them out to like Etsy, Amazon, stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they just jump to other platforms.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
I mean, it
yeah.
would be interesting to see like if there's like one specific seller or something that has been frequent on his, things like that. You could reach out to
Exactly,
that
so
individual person. and
That's
see
definitely
that.
what we need to do, right? What
100%.
products are doing the best? What have received the most clicks?
Yeah.
So we can actually, once we dive more into these metrics, we can actually look at like what the engagement has looked like. We can divide it by open rate, click through rate. So whichever products have gotten the highest click through rates, we can try to copy those products, stuff like that. So there's a lot of different metrics we can look at to make sure we're like optimizing stuff.
Yeah, this is sweet. What's your long-term goal then? You want to 5 times?
Yeah,
Like to
Yeah.
15?
yeah.
Alright.
So
So how much monthly revenue do you think we need to be pulling in order to?
So in order to sell for 15K, we'd probably be need to making about $500 a month.
That's not hard at all.
That's not hard at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm making 500 a month, you're making 6,000 a year, and you can sell for 2 to 3 times revenue. Usually. So
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we could realistically flip that in like a couple months easily. Like all it would take would be like the Google ads to get that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
It's
also-
definitely
I think we can like higher the profit margin from product sales. Like,
exactly. I think
There's-
like the best way to make money is by actually selling our own products.
yeah, like there's
Exactly.
making no sense to jump to another. platform.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
List it ourselves.
Maybe
Exactly.
Like part-time like drop shipping type thing.
Yeah. So like set up like a made to order, right? So only once the order is made, the product is actually like manufactured. So we can create designs, put those designs up, and then only once an order is made,
So it doesn't cost
it's
us anything until
exactly. So our costs are more controlled, and so that's definitely the goal, right? Like selling our own product on this is gonna be the gold mine, right? Because even if like at $500 a month, let's say we're sending out 4 issues a month, we need to be making about 150 per issue. I think that's very manageable. So let's say $100 a sponsor, and $50 in product sales here or there. You know, so there's definitely like you can monetize this. Honestly, I would even think a lot easier because he's not put any effort into the monetization up till now. Yeah.
Do you also want, like, what's your plan to gain more subscribers, or are you more focused on just like working what we have? And
Exactly. So definitely monetization first, and then growing subscribers. Yeah. Monetization has to be the goal, right? Because it's not making any money right now,
Yeah.
and we already have a decent base to start off on. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but so their Facebook page has about 40,000 followers. So their Facebook page has like 40,000 followers, and Instagram has like 7,000, Twitter has 4,000. So they have pretty decently sized socials as well. You know, like the engagement isn't crazy, right? But that's also because there's been like no effort put into this. You know, I really think that once we like actually start putting more effort into this, like you're gonna get so much more engagement, right?
Wait, those platforms are all linked to like this account? You
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
published on different
Yeah,
platforms?
yeah.
so we bought all the rights to that, all the socials and stuff as well.
No, no.
There is a lot we can do.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it's gonna be fun, right? That's why I think it's like
There's a lot of upside to kind of be creative with it.
exactly. And there's so much like we just can get so creative with it, you know, because it's like it's a Star Wars newsletter. Like, how the fuck do you monetize that? Who knows, you know? We kind of figure it out as we go, and like that's why I chose it. You know, it is a very out of the box business that you can see that okay, even if you can monetize this, you know, even if it's making like 100 a week, 500 a month, like that can turn into something meaningful, right? And like the goal is definitely to sell this for like 20k plus, right? So I'm aiming for 1,000 a month, 250 per newsletter, and I imagine that split being like 150 in sponsors and about 100 in like our product sales. So yeah, but that's very arbitrary, right? Like those are just numbers I've made up. Like I have no idea if it will actually look like that, but that's what we're going towards. Yeah. And right now he gets all his subscribers through Facebook ads, and he gains subscribers at about like 40 cents per subscriber. So that's actually like a really good price per subscriber, because let's say if we can say that we're getting 100 newsletter, like we're getting paid $100 per sponsorship, that means they're paying us for $100 for to get their product in front of 33,000 people, right? Because we have about 50% open rate. So that means they're paying like what, $1 every 30 people. So that's like 30 cents per person.
What
Right?
are his
No.
underlying costs? So is it just like the cost to run the domain basically? Like what is
No,
he
so
paying for?
that's what the business would pay us to sponsor.
Yeah, it's like we like
So
we
we're
show their
owning-
products.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you were talking
yeah.
about like the cost.
No. So there
I
are.
see, I see.
I was talking about the Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So that had a cost. So like
Oh, he did.
for
okay,
that,
he did
yeah,
that.
for that there is a cost. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Are you taking the test now?
None of them made as much sense, but yeah, basically there would be a difference, right, between how much we're paying per subscriber and how much we're getting paid per subscriber, and we need to try to minimize how much we pay and how much we're getting paid. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of different things we can do with this business, right? And just try to like play around with it, learn different things. So yeah, that's definitely the goal. Yeah. Yeah.
And do they have an Instagram account?
Yeah, they do. They do. So I think the Instagram also has. Yeah, Instagram also has like 7,500 followers. And yeah. like about the same, not a lot of engagement, but like we need to turn this from less of a like random newsletter to more just like college kids running the Star Wars newsletter, show some more personality
Yeah,
and
unified image. Of
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And so what makes him like? What aspects gave him the valuation of 5 or 4,000?
Yeah,
that
so
you initially.
it's definitely a very arbitrary evaluation. Newsletters have like a certain, like you can value them according to the subscribers that they have and open rates, right? So he has about 6,000 subscribers and about 50% open rate. So we're kind of paying like $1 per active subscriber, which is like below the average. I'd say the average is probably like $2.5 per active subscriber. So it is by that, but it's also like very arbitrary, right? Like it's not making any money right now, so it's very difficult to actually value it. And we're also not a newsletter buyer. Like there's a lot of people who actively buy and sell newsletters, right? They run like 10 different newsletters, they have a whole team who's like their job is to like find newsletter sponsors, stuff like that, right? So for them it's a lot easier for them to value newsletters because they know exactly what they're gonna get, right? They have their own ways to value them. But for us, we really have to like make these numbers up out of thin air. So it's a lot of like, okay, does that seem right, does that sound right? Okay, if I'm in order for this to be worth $3,000, it would need to be making about $100 a month. And I think this like definitely has the potential to make 100 a month, much more than that, right? It's just there's no effort going into the actual monetization because just one issue has a sponsorship slot of $100. Right now they're sending out 12 issues a month, right? So I think cutting those issues down to like 4 or 5 a month is gonna help us like increase the quality a lot more, and then we can really target sponsors, like people who run Star Wars businesses, let's say Star Wars content creators, let's say some dude who's like trying to start a Star Wars YouTube channel. We go and tell him like, give us $50 and we'll sponsor your we'll feature your channel in our next newsletter. I think you'll be done. Like if you're at like 2,000 subscribers, you're trying to grow your channel, like
Yeah, $50 eventually get 6,000 looks.
exactly, and especially like on the Facebook page, which has like 40,000 followers, that could be like a really valuable kind of asset, just because these are all media assets, right? You can make money from them. You can like get sponsors for them, stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
Wow.
I have to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're doing good. I think we're done with the session anyways. But yeah.
Yeah, cool. What's your plan for next meeting? Like next week? 2 weeks?
I think probably next weekend itself, yeah. Around what's a good time on the weekend for you guys? Is afternoon better or evening better?
Yeah, I think afternoon is better. Because last time I thought it was afternoon, and then like I thought the time changed. To
Dude, I'm so bad at planning stuff. Like, did
Yeah.
you send the email for today, like
Yeah.
today morning?
Wait, but do we have a record, like recording of the last meeting?
I should have. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I just have to like download it and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
right, sure.
So yeah, I keep forgetting, but yeah, no. So we're gonna try to do every weekend, Saturday or Sunday, which works better for you guys.
Always Sunday.
Sunday?
Oh, usually Saturday.
I'm actually okay. Both
Okay.
with both.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to find a time that works best for others, right?
Yeah.
Because right now I'm not been on campus, so I'm cool with like any time on the weekends.
You're in Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
I quite like it, yeah. It's really fun. Like there's a lot of work for sure, but I'm learning a lot as well.
Cool.
So yeah, no, I think it's worth it if you're thinking about
Yeah,
it.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah. So if you apply, like you're almost guaranteed to get in.
Yeah.
So you should definitely like consider it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's fine, like working a 9 to 5 as well as taking 4 classes, like you're
It's
fine,
the
fine
class,
with
like
that.
it's more like 2 classes.
Oh.
So it's 3 classes, but one's the internship, and the
Oh.
class load is a lot lower. You don't have any
Yeah.
exams, only papers.
Oh, that's not
So
bad.
it's like way better, yeah. And like the professors know you're doing a full-time job.
So the okay.
So they're like way more lenient than like it's like everybody's struggling as well, you know. So it's not like
You're struggling together.
yeah, exactly.
Wait, so those
exactly.
classes are like only SVP students taking?
Yeah.
Like
So
those two?
so the classes themselves are made for SVP.
Oh,
The
okay.
professors only teach SVP stuff like that.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's pretty cool. I definitely really like it. Yeah.
Interesting. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you recommend to take it on sophomore year or like a junior year?
So the thing is, in junior year, you'll probably get a better SVP internship because in sophomore year, you wouldn't have done your sophomore year internship.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what most people look at. But also, like, people do it much before and have no problems, you know? So it really depends on what you're looking for.
What'd you do for your sophomore year internship?
So last year, I was doing this, like, I was working at a biotech startup and they were based out of Hawaii. So yeah, I was just over there for the summer.
Cool.
Yeah, I really liked it because, you know, it was out of Hawaii.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that was like definitely the best part.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I just really like startups, you know. So it was just like an interesting experience. I never thought I would work at like a biotech lab, which was really interesting. So yeah.
Cool. Alright, thanks.
Thank you.
See you next
Yeah,
week.
dude, it was awesome meeting you guys. Yeah, feel like if you have any questions, we can set up a meeting, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll see you all next week, and yeah, let me know, you know, yeah, just how, because the whole point of this is to like help you guys the best I can, and whatever that may look like, you know, whatever opportunities you're looking for, however I can help you, let me know, you know, and then like accordingly, this will develop to like give you guys those opportunities. So yeah.
Can we
Thank you.
schedule a time like
Yeah.
for like chat?
Yeah, for sure. Did you by chance get a look at my Calendly?
Oh, you've sent it out?
Have I? I don't even know if I sent it out.
Yeah, I'll go check.
Okay, if not, just
If
like,
not, I'll
if
send
you
you
wanna
an
take
email.
my number, it'll be way
Oh,
easier
right.
to text me on there, yeah.
Yeah,
Cause like
so-
email, it's like, there's so
lot.
many emails, yeah, and then it gets like really lost. But yeah. Feel free to text me,
And I think it's like actually
WhatsApp me, whatever.
sure. There are so much potential since it got several linked platforms. I really think it is.
I do think so, yeah, I
and there
agree.
are like a few
I agree.
advertising technique here, like nowadays,
Yeah.
just like very new technique for advertising Instagram products, something like that. It's
Interesting.
like we can chat more like
Yeah, dude, I would love to talk about that
Sure.
more. Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
man.
I appreciate it. Thanks
Yeah,
so
of
much.
course, dude. Shoot me a text, we'll figure out a time. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Awesome, dude. I'll talk to you
Sure.
soon, man. Take
I'll
care.
see you later.
See you.